We back again as promised. We got a name this week. Eavesdropping Knowledge.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I think I like that one right there. That's a dope name from my homie James from what the F logistics.
Don't do that, man. Come on.
Yeah, man. What the F logistics out here making money, making power moves, man. How was your weekend though, man?
Oh man, it was very eventful. It's full. Wife, kids went camping. I mean, not it was on some campgrounds, but my wife we usually do like a tent and everything. And I mean, even then we still do glamping, but it
Let
was
me, let me stop you there. Y'all remember
uh
last week I told y'all this man go on trips every week.
is camping a trip though? Camping is just camping. It's like an hour away, man. Just on a weekend.
Everybody he trying to downplay it, man. He was on a yacht. He was
He said a
he was
yacht.
posting boat pictures all on Instagram. I'm up here. I'm mad. I'm like, I'm drinking my checkers, just looking
No.
mad, bro, man.
You look like you had an awesome weekend, man. I wish I was one of your kids, man. I mean, I'm not trying to call another man daddy, but man, I saw that spot you took the kids to. Like that was dope, man. Like what was the I saw like the bumper car look like a gyroscope. Your daughter was that your daughter? Your son was in it. It was your daughter, right?
Don't try to get off the yacht party, bro.
I'm just saying, man. It looked like a great weekend. I need to come hang out with you.
Nah, we always try to go to some one of them little jump houses, man. And keep them entertained and stuff like that. Also, of
course,
that's time for us to do what we need to do, text or whatever. Because while they out there running wild, I keep an eye on them here and there, but I'm doing my own thing, tell you the truth. How the trucks was? How was your week with the trucks?
Man, my carriers, it's like everybody has something to do. Everybody's occupied. One of my carriers was trying to get, for those that don't know, Florida is like, it's like a black hole for trucking. You can go down in there and you can usually get good rates getting down to Florida. And of course, the further south you go, the worse it is. So if you go on like North Florida, like maybe like Jacksonville or Northern Florida, I'm not gonna say that's North Florida, but the closer you are to the Georgia border, the better. So one of my carriers was trying to get to the Tampa area. So that was like, I mean, it is what it is. Now I got to get them out coming up this week. And my other carrier, he had some situations with his, not a situation, but he had like a great weekend plan with his wife that kind of started earlier. So they was going to like a Babyface concert in Atlanta and stuff. So he was like, "Hey man, I got to be home by Thursday." So I don't know. It wasn't that productive for me because we kind of had some things already set up. So it wasn't really like a whole bunch of sweat off my back. My other carrier in Texas, he's doing this thing. I got another carrier hopefully coming on end of this week in Texas as well. So we'll get that popping. And then my guy, shout out to my guy again, Kyle Mackey. If you watch the first episode, he's the one that kind of opened my eyes to this. I actually saw him. He was at the campsite. He pulled up with his 18-wheeler, man. He was like, "What up, everybody?" He just got off the road, so he didn't have time to like set up a tent. So he was literally.
Did he own the yacht? Did he own the yacht?
It was a pontoon boat and it was rented for 4 hours. That was my
yacht, y'all. This man downplaying it, bro. He downplaying it.
Derek, he had him, his wife, his little girl, and his family was on there. So he was like, "Hey man, you gonna jump on the boat? Let the kids drive here and there." It was slow. It wasn't like nothing fancy, but it did make me want to get a boat. So I came away from this weekend. I got to buy 3 things.
Eating caviar and stuff. But go ahead.
Nah, we was eating good. Don't get it twisted now. My wife, she did her thing and she packed it up. We took it down there. But what I was saying earlier is normally we do like the camping, but this time we rented like a fifth wheel, like a trailer. Yeah. So it was nice. It was very nice. And so now I got to buy a truck. I got to buy a fifth wheel to pull it, and I got to buy a boat. So those are 3 things in 2023.
All this money, man. I told you.
Man, you got to set goals.
You're doing it, man.
Got to work towards them. So you got to set goals. You got to work towards them. So that's the plan. How was your week, man? What was? I know we talked here and there, but it sounded like you had some adventure, man.
God dang, man. Most of my carriers did good. I average everybody was in, I think everybody pretty much did 8. Only one driver did 7. That's because of
Now stop
freaking
right now. This is what y'all need to understand.
What?
This man, so let's be clear. How many of those carriers got trailers? Honestly, how many got?
One just got a trailer, but we didn't use his trailer this week.
So none of them this week, none of them had trailers.
Nah, none of them.
So you telling me all these carriers are power only, and you did 8,000 across the board. One of them was 7,000.
Yeah.
All right. So for people who do not understand,
hey,
what Karras is really saying is he's saying, look me in the eye. I am the man. I do it big.
Nah,
you know, y'all remember that Nelly song? I mean, you know, we both a little older. I am number one. Y'all remember that song? That's what he's saying right now. He's saying it coded, but he's saying he's the man.
What song was
I am
that?
number one.
Never heard. Oh, okay. I remember that.
It was on the was it on the it was on the soundtrack, I believe. Maybe it was the what's the movie with Denzel Washington when he was the bad cop? What's that movie? Training Day. I think it was a Training Day soundtrack.
You telling your age, soundtrack. Good
grief. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They don't do soundtracks no more. Last soundtrack that was nice was Black Panther. But anyway, hey, he's doing this thing, y'all. He is $8,000 power only. You talk to anybody. Okay, so let's say this. What's the average age of those authorities?
All of them under a year.
All right, so let me break this down again.
The oldest one is probably 10 months. 9 to 10 months.
Well, once you get past, so for people who don't understand, when you start a trucking company, you have to get a certificate of authority. So what that means is basically you get your truck. Obviously, you got to have a truck. You go get your insurance and all that other stuff, and then you have to file paperwork. You have to have an LLC. You can't do it like sole proprietor, none of that. You have to have an LLC or corporation, either C Corp or S Corp. You have to go and register your company with the U.S. Department of Transportation. They give you a U.S. DOT number, and then they give you a motor carrier number. We call it an MC number. And so what happens is when you get your certificate of authority, it has like a date on it, like your start date. So let's just say you started you started your company before, but you actually got your certificate of authority on January 1st, 2022. So the month of January, you are under 30 days. So for people who don't know, what would you say it becomes like? It's like smooth sailing as far as the age of authority. Like how old would you say authority has to be?
I say 6 months, man.
Yeah,
6 months, definitely a year. A year is
a year. You easy. It's smooth sailing. But I say when you get to 6 months, you really start hitting your stride. So again, what he's saying is these guys not only don't have trailers.
I'm helping you prove your point.
they don't have an aged authority. So I mean, the other ones they were like 2 months, 3 months.
Bro, the one I just let go, he was like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, probably a week and a half, man. That's what these carriers don't understand, man. It's like if anybody has kids out there, or remember when you were a kid and how your parents was tripping, when they put you on their insurance went up. Yep. Nobody trusts you. That's a perfect example for if you have a new MC, if you are an owner operator out there, nobody wants to work with you. Or if you're a dispatcher and you have a truck with a new authority, nobody wants to work. They don't trust them. I don't care if you've been driving 20 years and you start your own business, nobody wants to work with you. They don't know you. They don't know your 20-year record that was perfect when you drove for Pepsi. All they know is Joe Blow Logistics is a new baby, and we don't trust you. That's why your insurance is high.
Yep.
Until your insurance go down, that's when that's how I need to start tearing carriers. Until your insurance go down, that's when you start getting good rates and good loads. Because if your insurance is high, pretty much you know that nobody wants to work with you. The insurance company don't even want to work with you. That's why they charge you so much.
They're trying to weed out the people who aren't serious, either aren't serious and are willing to make that sacrifice, or just don't have the capital, up front. So man.
That's where. Go ahead, my bad.
I was just saying these new carriers, man. I hear from them all the time, and I ask them, how old is your authority? Oh man, I think next week we might hit 30 days, and it's just like you can work with them. Obviously, carriers is doing it. I've done it before, but it's just expectations. You got to set expectations. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Nah, definitely expectations. That like definitely got to ask these people these questions. That's something when I'm becoming better at. I think we talked about that last week. Is just not jumping in bed with these new carriers just because dollar signs. Because soon as somebody hits you up, that's all we think of. Oh man, I'm gonna buy me a new boat. I'm gonna buy me a new truck. I'm messing with you, man.
I'll say this. That stuff is not gonna come from dispatching. We're gonna talk about that towards the end because I'm gonna go and revisit what you said last episode about setting goals and doing accountability. I have you as like one of my accountability partners, and I'm putting it out here like in the public sphere so that I can have it for myself, and then other people can look back on it 3 months, 6 months, a year from now and be like, okay, he said he was gonna do this. And success isn't always a straight road. There's bumps and bruises and everything, but it's just the fact that I'm putting it out here. I'm gonna put it out here towards the end of this episode, and then we're gonna take it from there. And hopefully I have some good news to report back in the coming weeks and months. But
so it is. It's definitely gonna happen, man. Hopefully to it. We speaking that in existence. It's gonna happen.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Happen, man.
So we got a little bit of oh man, I'm so tired. I can't even think. Basically, how are we gonna cover this? So again, I'm gonna let you take it from there. So we said we had a few topics we was gonna cover, kind of still dealing with dispatching. And the first topic was, if you're a dispatcher, how do you find trucks? So Dispatch Master, take it away.
I still believe in Indeed.com. That's how I pretty much got my first carrier. So I say if anybody go get on Indeed and pretty much create your profile, and it will allow you to find carriers. Take advantage of it for the free first 90 days. Don't do like I did. And I admit I was scared, I was BSing, and I didn't take advantage of it like I could have. And I look back at it. So I say anybody out there, get on Indeed and take advantage of it. Post every day. Post every day, and they'll pretty much email you. People will come on and look at your post, and they'll send an email to you. So check your emails every day and call those people. Call them. If they don't return, if they don't answer, call them again. The early bird, my mom always told me, early bird get the worm. Excuse my French, but somebody need to eat, sleep, and shit thinking about you every day. Like, God, this guy would not, seriously, she used to tell me that. She didn't cuss, but she said she would say that. She would say S. And somebody need to go to sleep with you on their mind, because you're bugging them. Because somebody gonna bug them. Somebody gonna sign that carrier. It's gonna be you, it's gonna be me, or somebody else. So just keep doing that. The second one I would do is get in Facebook groups. Get in 20 of them, get in 30 of them, and post. I would say post every other day, if not every day. Heck, post every day. I don't post every day, but during the time when I was on Facebook groups, I was posting probably 3 times a week or something like that, or 2 times a week. But what I do is I get on Facebook probably 5 times a day. And let's say I might get on early in the morning at 7. And then I'll scroll down and I'll look at all the comments. And I would see who's it might be a comment talking about dispatchers. And I'll go in and I'll look for somebody that might be looking for a dispatcher. I'll post my ad in there. Whatever it is, I still post my ad. I try not to post my ad on people who are posting their own ad. But what I will do, if let's say if somebody posts their ad and then there's people under their ad saying hey, I need a dispatcher, I'll pretty much go in their DM on Facebook. Hey, it is what it is, doggy dog world, man. You got to get it how you live. And I pretty much throw my my pitch to them and be confident, man. That's something that pretty much been getting me my drivers. Because I had a driver the other day and I was telling that was hitting me up. And I just told him, it was he asked me for 6,000. I sent you that text. And I was like, man, I do 6,000 in my sleep. And I really do. 6,000 is nothing to make. 6,000 to 7,000.
Big boy talk.
Is nothing to make in dispatching. Once you know what you're doing, it's nothing. Actually, 8. I'm trying to hit 9 to 10 every week consistently. But I think that's going to be a little hard or whatnot because, you know, nothing's perfect in trucking. But Facebook groups, Indeed, and truck stops. I haven't found success in truck stops, but I see other people do it. But whatever you do, be consistent. Don't go to a truck stop. Don't get on Facebook. Don't get on Indeed once a week or once a month and then complain why you can't find drivers. You have to be consistent. Whatever you do, if you're working out, if you're studying for a test, you got to be consistent. Whatever you do, if you practicing for baseball, if you're shooting the basketball, you got to get in the gym every day. So whatever you do, be consistent. Also, get out of doing what everybody else doing. That's something that I saw that made me successful in finding carriers. Everybody is posting their the professional, you know, looking flyer. Nothing's wrong with that because I have mine. But if that's not working, do something else. Make up a flyer. Whatever you got to do. I don't know. Post a picture of you and you know, something. I don't know, but just try something. And if it don't stick, try something else. But if everybody's doing one thing, try something else. But I heard a female say, I forgot what it was because I saw it in one of my Facebook groups, but then I saw it in the Good Energy group that she was in line at where people was getting their CDLs or something where a whole bunch of truckers were going. And she was like, yo, it'll be a good idea if somebody just came up there with some donuts, you know, and coffee and passed out, you know, stuff like that. You know, so you got to think out of the box sometimes. You can't do the norm, you know what I'm saying? That's all I would say. Stop doing what everybody else is doing and you know, try to do something that's different. I saw Erica, she had little goodie bags. She had like, you know, Jolly Ranchers and cookies or whatever in there, and then she had her card in there. That's dope to me. It's something different, you know what I'm saying? Because truckers be on the road. They might not look at the card, but who knows, you know, driving down the road one day and then, you know, they look over and see them Jolly Ranchers. They might, you know, who knows? They might look at the card then. So do something different and stay consistent. That's the number one key, really. Stay consistent. Because if you do something, it's no way in the world if you do something for 30 days straight, you're not going to see results. It's no way. Nobody can sit here and tell me that you can't find one or somebody don't call you back.
Yeah.
Something, you know. I went on a tangent, but yeah.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
I agree 100%, man. Like I feel like I said it the last episode. Consistency and being persistent. That's the other thing. Like, because you can be consistent, but then, you know, if you're not seeing, like, I believe you're right. If you do something consistently for 30 days, you will see results. But even if it's not the results you want to see, or it's like, it's not exactly, you know what I'm saying, working out the way you want it to work out. If you are persistent, it's like you just keep going no matter what. You know, nothing's going to stop you. So I think,
even
you're absolutely
like you
right.
said, even if it doesn't work, the fact that you're doing something it helps you out in reaching your goal. You know what I'm saying? It's something that the Les Brown, motivational speaker, that I listen to. He's like, if you reach a goal and you don't even make the goal, the person who you become in the journey of getting that goal, you're better than who you were 30 days or 6 months, because 30 or 6 months ago you was lazy. You know what I'm saying? So now you become like this person that you just, okay, this don't work, let me pivot and try this, because you already pretty much kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? You're already in the mode of doing something. So it would be easy for you just to pivot and try something else instead of you just trying it 2 or 3 days, like, oh, it don't work. Of course it ain't gonna work. It's 2 or 3 days. Right. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that if you do something and keep doing it for 30 days plus, is also the discipline. Like, even if you don't have the success, like, you built a routine, and discipline is the key to success with anything. Because I was watching this a little clip of Mike Tyson, and he was saying, you know what I'm saying, you could be motivated, but motivation like will fade away. But when you're disciplined, that means you get up and you do it the right way, you do it the same way every single time. And even when you hate it, discipline is what makes you do it like you love it. So discipline is definitely something that you build, even if you don't see the success or the results right then and there.
No, discipline is definitely, man, I think really discipline is honestly the key to being successful, man. Discipline is like, because like you said, the days that you don't want to do it, you still do it. You know, that discipline, man, just getting up. And I tell anybody out there, man, especially if you got kids, how can you look at your kids and tell them something? Because I tell my kids all the time playing baseball, and I was telling this lady that her daughter plays baseball for my kids, and I was trying to motivate her. It's like, how are we sitting up here telling our daughters to like swing harder or get out your head, and we go back home, we in our own head, or we not doing something, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I think of sometimes when I get down or when I don't feel like doing it. It's like, dang, I'm telling my daughter, Haley, I got to keep doing it. I honestly think that's what motivates me to keep going. It's like, okay, I tell my son, I tell my daughter, I got to keep going because who am I? You know what I'm saying? To tell them and then I'm not doing it. So, but no, discipline, consistency is definitely keys to finding carriers. I promise you, if you do that for 30 days, it's no way.
Yeah, you have some prospects. You'll definitely have some prospects. So that takes us to our next point. So you've been doing that for 30 days. You're getting people calling and people interested, people ready to go. So the next thing on the list is vetting your driver. So what's that process look like?
Vetting your drivers, that process is, I would advise everybody, for one, to find your lane. If your lane is box trucks, just do box trucks. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do box trucks, hot shots and stuff like that, but find your lane. My lane, which I think was chosen to me, what you say?
You said box trucks as a lane. I'm like, all right, that's what you want to do.
It's not my lane because I'm not doing it. I'm just saying my lane I found was power only, and I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? Power only and dry vans. Now, sooner or later, you know, I tried reefers. I failed at box truck. Oh, I failed miserably at box truck. I had a dude pretty much, he was stuck in New Orleans for I think 2 days. He just man, but anyways, I got horror stories for box trucks. But no, power only is my lane and dry van my lane, you know what I'm saying? But I say whatever your lane is, find it and stick to it. Just choose one and see what you can do. After you choose that lane and you get those carriers, I would advise everybody to sit down and get questions. Like sit down, you know, Friday, Saturday, whatever you have time, and literally think for like 15, 30 minutes of thought-provoking questions that you can ask these drivers. Like, for one, what's your break-even point? Most of these drivers don't know what's their break-even point. If they say $3 a mile, hang up on them. No, don't hang up on them. Don't hang up on them, but educate them, because it ain't. Normally, typically, it's like $2, $2.30, $2.50. That's the highest I've ever heard, was like $2.50 a mile. But break-even point, asking them how often they want to drive. Do they want to come home every night? Because if they want to come home every night, that's going to cause more stress on you. Can you deal with that stress? You know what I'm saying? Because now you got to find them a load. If they are power only, that's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? So you need to know that. It might be easier if they have a van. Also ask them questions, if their authority is new. You know, because if they have a new authority, a lot of people is not going to want to work with them. And asking them all these questions, when you're vetting them, that lets you know how much stress that you're going to bring onto yourself, and if you want to have that stress. And also, it lets, at that time, you need to be real with those drivers. Because let's say I had a driver that was from Denver. He was coming out of Denver, Colorado. At that time, I wasn't really upfront with him and telling him. I did, but I really wasn't like how I should have told him, like, hey, bro, nothing's coming out of Denver, Colorado right now. Nothing. If it ain't a blizzard, you know, in Colorado, ain't nothing popping in Colorado, man. It's like Florida. It's literally, it's Desert Storm out there, man. And for some odd reason, he thought that he could get good rates out there. And later on, after I think the second week I was dispatching him, it came to my knowledge that he was thinking of flatbed. Flatbed, yes, it's popping in Colorado. But if I would have did what I was supposed to at the beginning, I wouldn't have had that stress or that problem. But it was too far gone then. So I tell everybody, is like, trust me, I know y'all want to make the money. I know y'all want to ball like my man James out here and get the boat and eat the caviar and, you know, eat with your pinky up like he would. But I'm telling you, it would save you so much stress. If you have, I'm joking with, that's my man, we joke like this, but it will save you so much stress if y'all upfront with these carriers and let them know, hey, it's not gonna happen. I had a driver, the same driver I was telling you about. This guy, he had a dry van. He wanted to come home. He wanted to make $6,000 a week. And I told him arrogantly, I can make that in my sleep. So, but then I asked more questions. I was like, hey, how often you want to come home? How many miles you want to drive? He told me that he wants to drive up no max than 200 miles a day, and he wants to come home every night, and he wants to make $6,000, the minimum. So he really wanted to make more.
Yeah, that's not realistic at all.
Unless, now I don't know. Somebody might know, but from my knowledge, that's not gonna happen.
You said wait. Let's so again, let's do the math on this, right? So he said how many miles a day?
No more than 200. 200.
Okay.
200.
So let's do this. Let's break it down. So we know that you get a certain amount of hours per week to drive, and then you have to do your 34-hour reset. So for people who don't understand, truckers have a clock, and you can only see. I'm not even. I want to make sure I say this correctly. Every day, it's 11 hours, right, of drive time.
Yeah, you get 11 hours.
You have 11 hours of drive time, and you have to do a 10-hour reset. So that means after your clock hits 11 hours, you have to shut down. You have a ELD, which is electronic logging device in the truck, and that kind of taps in, like it creates these logs. So if you ever get pulled over by DOT or anything, they can actually go through your logs to see if you're abiding by these guidelines and you're not breaking these rules. Because if you break the rules, there's penalties and repercussions, all type of. So you don't even want to do that. So you have 11 hours on your clock, and then you have to, I think the most you can go is 8 hours, and then you have to do like a 30-minute break, right? Is that correct? Like you can't go 11 straight. You can only, the max you can go is 8. And then they have to see that you took a break and your truck literally stopped moving for at least 30 minutes. And then you can run the other 3 hours. And then after that, once you hit 11, you have to shut down for 10 hours, no matter what. Like you cannot drive your truck. So you have like those 11 hours every day, but then after it's 70 hours for the week, right?
Yeah.
So you have 70 hours total of drive time, and then you have to do a 34-hour reset. So that's a 24-hour day plus an additional 10 hours. Oh boy. So anyway, so you have limited time. So most of these guys, I mean, they're on the road, you know, they're at truck stops, they're, you know, parked and everything. But for most of them, they still work on like a Monday through, you know, Friday type week because they have to do the 34-hour reset. So if you figure Saturday, Sunday is your weekend, one of those days you have to sit still a total of 24 hours and then 10 hours the previous or following day of that 24-hour period. You got to get 34 hours straight of reset. Yeah. So basically, going back to the math, so this carrier told carriers, I want to make $6,000 a week. Okay, so let's just work with a 5-day week. So that means you need to make $1,200 a day. Then he said he only wants to drive 200 miles a day. So to make $1,200 on 200 miles, you got to make $6 a mile. Now,
ain't no
that
way
is completely and totally unrealistic. That is not happening.
Let's see, $3 a mile for $200 is
600.
600, yeah.
6 times 5, that's $3,000.
And you ain't getting that in this market right now.
Not at all. I mean, I don't know any market where you get that unless you're like hauling hazardous materials, like, you know what I'm saying? You got to be doing something crazy, like toxic chemicals, and you got escorts and everything else. And even then, you'd be lucky to get $5 a mile consistently. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, that's not realistic.
And I asked him, I was like, hey, can you do 3 or 4? Because if you can do 3, if he would have said 3, I probably would have took him on. Because I can probably do that with 3. But he said, no, 200? I'm like, and as much as
and be home every day. Like, that's not realistic. That's not realistic at all.
But see, when I first started, I probably would have took on that challenge because all I'm thinking about is dollar signs, you know? So I'm telling you guys now is like, and jump out there, take somebody, because you got to learn. But at the same time, it's like, know what you're getting into, vet these drivers, and really ask them these questions. That guy right there, he's not going to find it. He's not. You know, he may. I don't know. Somebody put me on game if you know how a way he can make 6,000 doing 200 miles a day. It ain't no way in the world.
No, man, that's. I'm trying to think of what you could haul at that shorter distance for that amount of money. It would literally have to be
flatbed. If he did flatbed, maybe
6,000 miles for flatbed, bro. That would be like a. So okay, so in for the people watching, so in trucking, when you're dealing with freight, everything is about like your time. So if it was something where it's like, hey, we got to get this stuff from point A to point B, and we have like a hard deadline, there's like millions of dollars at stake or something. I've seen companies pay, ridiculous amounts of money, but that's always temporary. It's always like, even if it's like a 6-month project, when that's over, they're not paying that. I mean, you're not going to find that, for the next 10 years driving a truck. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could probably jump from one project to the other if you got a pipeline or you got a connect that can hook you up with stuff like that. But $6 a mile, bro, just regular. Wait, and he was power only, or he had a drive-in?
He had a drive-in. Even on the drive-in, it wasn't going to happen. Yeah, and he had one power only. That's another thing to touch on what you said. Also, carriers and also dispatchers. Carriers first. Please understand what he said, that sometimes people when you hear your homeboy or when you see on YouTube, or I don't know where y'all hear these stories from, sometimes somebody has a project for 6 months. This is not the norm. So they may be on a project that's popping for 6 months, and then it's going to end. So just know, if you hear, oh, my homeboy or my friend gets this, he's probably on a project, or he's probably doing flatbed, but you got a power only, or it's something else to it. So whenever you hear these wild stories, ask more questions. Yep. Same thing as dispatchers. Whenever you hear these wild stories, trust it's something else to it, because that's not the norm. The norm right now is $280, $290 a mile. Every now and then $3 for a drive-in. Mm-hmm. For if you're a reefer, it's a little bit more, but you burn more gas with a reefer. Flatbed is always good, but you do more work, so that's why they pay more money. So, but it's not the norm. So, and I'm not dissing my carriers out there, but I just want everybody to be realistic. Please be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Don't come into this game expecting something when it's not. Do your research and everything, because it's funny and it kills me when I'm in these Facebook groups when I talk to carriers and they're like, oh, I don't move my truck for less than. I see some people still saying they don't move their truck for less than $4 a mile. Bro, you crazy? You must don't move your truck at all. I wanted to say something else. I wanted to say anyway, but is you crazy? I gotta be what's that ignorant on that one. Is you crazy? I can't even say it proper. Is you crazy? $4 a mile right now? Yeah. And don't tell these brokers about gas. I'm gonna go ahead and say that right now. These brokers do not care about you telling them about gas. They do not. They might hang up on you. They might hang up on you.
I have a few carriers who sometimes they don't get it. They be like, well, just okay, so it might be, let's say the load is posted for like 1,600, right? So my thing is, what I tell people is, at the bare minimum, I'm going to try and get you at least 10% because that's what I charge. Yeah. So if the load was posted for 1,600, I'm going to try. I mean, I'm going to probably shoot from maybe 300 more, and then maybe back and forth. I might get like 200, 180, but I'm trying to do at least 160.
Tell us how you negotiate.
Posted. How I negotiate?
Yeah.
It depends on the situation. I've gotten to the point now where I try and work with brokers that I know as much as possible, because when you have, this business, all businesses is relationships. So when you have previous history with them, sometimes, they'll say, well, because it's I can throw a little extra or whatever on it. But if it's just a fresh broker, I never, first time I ever speak to them, first of all, I get all the information. I try to get all the information, as much information as possible from them. So let's just say, for example, let's say, what's a good lane? Let's say Atlanta going up to Baltimore, right? So Maryland. So, okay, so let's go back maybe a month or two. It was winter. So you have bad weather up there. You know what I'm saying? You might have some ice, you might have some snow. So I'm taking, just like Alex talks about, I'm taking every single thing I can. And I mean, at one point it was, oh man, these fuel prices, they beating us over the head with this. What can we do? Can we get a little extra? But like you said, these brokers don't care. But when you can actually pick something that's more specific to that particular load, if you could say, hey man, the weather in Baltimore, it's 26 degrees, we got potential ice on the ground, whatever, this is hazardous, whatever. We're trying to get it there. We're trying to get there safely. You know what I'm saying? What can we do about this rate? If it's posted for, what's that trip? Atlanta, Baltimore is about what? About 700-800 miles, somewhere between there?
Nah, Atlanta, Baltimore is like 500 to 600 miles.
What am I saying? 7, 8? I'm thinking going to Texas, man. I've run
Pittsburgh,
Georgia to Texas
like
all
7.
the time. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just say about 600 miles, maybe not. So that's the other thing. They'll post Baltimore, but then when you call them, they'll be like, oh, yeah, it's whatever, some other city. It might be like, 20, 30 miles from Baltimore. So it's not really in Baltimore. Yeah, they always do that. But it's just, you want to get in that area because it's going to be deadhead no matter what. So let's just say we're going to say from Georgia to Maryland, 600 miles. So $3 a mile is $1,800. Let's say it's posted. Let's just say it's posted at the 1,800. So you always, like I said, I want to push for that 10% because then I can go back to my carrier and say, hey, man, it was posted for 8. I got it for 2,000. So in his head, he's like, okay, he's earning his keep because I still keep, 1,800 for me. And that 180 the 200 he's going to pay me on the load, he still gets 800. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say, hey, the weather's bad. We got sleet, we got snow, whatever. I'm going to say, we got deadhead when we get there. You know what I'm saying? We got to pick up the next load, or we might have deadhead from the actual, from the shipper. So, you know what I'm saying? If it's not, they put down Atlanta and he might be in like College Park, but the load really picks up, somewhere on the outskirts. And Atlanta traffic is horrible. It's horrible. So it's like, hey man, he got to get over there. Can we get $100 for the deadhead down here and then $100 for the deadhead up there? That's your $200 right there. So, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think you just got to have realistic expectations, and you got to have as much information as possible. So the weather, if things are going on like locally, like if traffic is bad, or if I don't know if it's construction, a lot of construction, you know what I'm saying? Or if it's, it also depends on what the commodity is. Well, I've noticed like when I've worked with carriers that have reefers, a lot of times when it's like perishable stuff, like especially like milk products, like it might be ice cream or milk or, like grocery type stuff, they're willing to work with you because their whole thing is, well, how soon can you pick it up? How soon can you pick it up? Because usually those, they have like they have windows. So the pickup might be like 8 to 3. So if you say, hey man, he'll be there in an hour, you know what I'm saying? If you can do extra $300, they'd be like, okay, yeah, let's get it moved. You know what I'm saying? Because they try to turn that over. So
that's a gem right there. I always throw that in there.
Yeah.
They empty now. Even in my truck I hit my, like, you about to get empty? Oh, he empty now.
Yeah.
Oh, if you empty now, let me put it like this. These brokers, they want to get this off their plate because they people like us. Think about if you still work for somebody, or if you used to work for somebody. Pretty much, they just like when you was at work, you want to get as much stuff done and off your plate. That's how they are. If they can get that load off their plate, that makes their day much easier, and they can get back on Instagram or do whatever they BSing for the day.
So there's also money because once they get the load moved, they get paid. Yeah, so that's like that's literally they closing a deal. So it's like, okay, boom, I got paid. So it's like, it's transactions. The more I get done during the day, the more money I make.
Nah, both of them definitely for money. I just had the situation. I had a driver up in Michigan. She had to drop a load off trailer, and I got her another load out trailer. And I wake up every morning, look at the weather. Michigan was it was already kind of like snowing, but it was really about to come down on Friday. And that's what I told the broker. I'm like, man, because she had the deadhead a little bit more up in Michigan. I was trying to find her something in Indiana or Ohio, but this load was like 60 miles up more. I forgot where she was at, Lansing, Michigan, something. It was like 60 miles up. She had a deadhead. And I told the broker, I was trying to get, I actually got $3 a mile on this one. It was 800 miles, 800 plus. So pretty much I need to be at like 2,500, should I say. And I pretty much was telling the broker, like, look, man, it's about to come down. My driver, she kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to convince her because she go back up there. Can y'all, give me a little bit more? And he, of course, they say, hold on. That's another thing. When they say hold on, you go on mute too. Don't be talking in the background. But yeah, he gave me a little bit more because I like he said, like James said, just knowing what's going on, if it's traffic, if it's snow, if it's whatever is going on, you know what I'm saying? And that got my driver some extra money for a weekend load. So definitely, man, that help out with no negotiating. Something else that I do, and I got a video on my page, is I like to break the ice, man. I like to keep it, I don't want to say keep it real, but just pretty much, build rapport. So as soon as I call somebody, it's like, ring, hey man, you got this load from Chicago to Atlanta, they'll be like, yeah, let me look it up. They always say that. Let me find it. As soon as they stop, I ask them, how's it going over there? And 9 times out of 10, sometimes 10 times out of 10, they always like, it's going okay. How about yourself? That breaks the ice for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't always win with that, but that gives me a little opening in the door to talk some junk, maybe find out where they from. Maybe if they like, if they're March Madness just happened, I can maybe talk about that. If it's a female, I don't know, just whatever it is. But as soon as you call, hey man, you got this load from Chicago to Atlanta. Yeah, we got it. Let me look it up. How's your day going over there? Oh, it's going good, man. How about yourself? Oh man, it's whatever your day, just talk about something. So later on, when you have to negotiate that for more miles, it makes it easier because now you're their friend, you're their buddy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, man, that
you're right.
That
but
works.
That's how you build relationships with brokers, especially when they're repeat. You keep using them over and over and over again.
You know where I got that from? I got that from when I used to call and I needed help for, like, let's say I'm calling, I don't know, AT&T to help me with a bill or something. I was like, I gotta make these people like friends with me so they can like help me out. And I'm telling you, it always helps. You go in there, if you returning something to Walmart, be your friend. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
You get what they say, the old Bible thing, you get more honey with, you get more flies with honey.
Get more bees with honey than vinegar. Or
yeah, man.
Or no, get more flies with honey than vinegar. It's bees or flies, one or the other. We all know honey is better than vinegar. Unless you're making some collard greens or cleaning some chicken, you want some honey. So
man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. I'm with that 100% because like I got a few brokers that I've worked with pretty consistently. Like there's only 2, but I've actually sent because like we both had iPhones. I've sent and I posted this in the group. I've sent Starbucks cards. You know what I'm saying? Like $25 stuff. Hey, this my guy Johnny. I don't know if he's out there. If he ever sees this, hey man, you my guy. I appreciate you, Johnny. Like Johnny's made me and some other carriers a lot of money. So I appreciate Johnny. And I just literally, when he would work with us and he might bump the rate, or if we had one of his trailers a loadout, we held it, extra long. I'd be like, oh Johnny, man, I appreciate. And I mean, if you think about it, so I mean, not trying to go over, anybody's pockets or anything. So if you have a carrier, you charge a 10%. And, because of this broker, especially when it comes to like the loadouts, because we do a lot of loadouts with the power home. So he's giving you the privilege of using his trailer, and he's like kind of like closing his eyes to the rules or whatever, because depending on the situation, they have like, time, you have a time limit. You're supposed to have that trailer for, maybe 5 days, maybe 7 days, maybe 10 days. If you go over several days, but in those extra days, I made extra, $3,000-$4,000 for my carrier. What's $25 to shoot back to him to be like, hey man, I appreciate you. And he's like, nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's ever done that and I've done that several times. And so, I mean, it pays to just to grease the wheel. You again, man, showing our age. You watch Goodfellas? I used to watch Goodfellas like once a month at one point in time in my life.
Goodfellas. I thought that was just a movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I watched the movie over and over and over again. But you know the movie I'm talking about, right? So you remember when he talked about Jimmy the Gent? He would come in, he'd just be tipping people, he'd just be handing out money, he'd be like shaking hands with the valet, hand him a $20. He was like the voiceover was saying he was like he would pay the bar, he'd give the bartender a $100 bill just for keeping the ice cold. That's just how he was, how he moved. Now, I'm not saying, just throwing money around, but I'm just saying the people who are helping you make money, you take care of them, and money is one of the ways where you can show appreciation. So, I
Nah,
mean, maybe not
definitely.
give them straight money, but like I said, it's literally you go to the app on your phone. If they have an iPhone, you put your information in, you get a little $25 Starbucks card, text them to them, and they just like pop up like,
Andrew.
wow, man, thanks, I appreciate it. Come on, man. You making too much money to be sending me green text boxes, man. You making entirely too much money to be sending me them gross text boxes, bro. You need to get on Team iPhone. We can make this money and be true professionals. Like, stop. Oh, you can't even see it. Stop tripping. But anyway,
Nah,
so
but no,
yeah, that's
definitely.
having relationships with brokers is one of the best ways to negotiate. You know what I'm saying? If it's already a pre-established relationship.
Yeah, I was about to say that money thing is I've had drivers get unloaded earlier by slipping somebody a $20 bill. Guys don't make no,
Yeah.
because think about it, if you're a teenager or if you like 20 years old and you unloading and somebody slip you, heck, if somebody slipped me $20 still to this day, I might work a little harder.
And those
Like,
guys working, they're not making most of them not even making $20. So that's literally like a whole hour's worth of pay. You know what I'm saying? That they just getting for nothing. So you literally just
hey, man. Hey, go ahead. There you go. You ain't see it. That's how you do it. You gotta be like, just gonna throw it on like that, man.
Money is meant to be circulated, man.
Money talks. Yep. You know what they say. Walks. Yep. So definitely, man.
Definitely. All right. So so you covered, I said what I do negotiate with you. And I know you just be, man, I don't know how you be doing it, man. You just be becoming best friends with everybody. I guess I'm more surly. I'm like kind of like more so down to business. Like, look, man, these are the numbers. This is what it is. You be like, hey, man, oh, you a Packers fan, man? My Falcons, they're gonna beat your Packers next time they play and all that stuff, man.
I got
sports stuff and everything else.
I feel the vibe, man. Some people just come to work and they just be lame. They just have no life. Everybody know that person. And when I feel that vibe, it's like, all right, let me be professional with this person. But most of the time, once I ask them how their day is going and they give me a little bit of rapport, then I already know I got them. I know pretty much the chance of me getting that extra money is like, it's very high. But if somebody just be like, it's fine. Yeah, so this load goes to, I'm like, here we go. Somebody hate their life. Kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, come on, man. What are you doing, man? But no, man. Yeah. Money talks, vetting your drivers. We talked about that. How to find carriers, negotiating with brokers.
And now fuel. So what you got to say about fuel? Because fuel is crazy right now.
It is what it is, man. I hate to, I know drivers don't want to hear that, but it is what it is. It's easy for me to say that because I don't drive a truck, but anybody that's been doing this for a long time knows that. If you've been doing this for like 6 months, you don't know it. A year, you don't know it. 2 years, you might not know it. But if you've been in this game for a while, things go up and down. Just like when Bush was in office, gas was $5 and then it went back down. When Obama came in, gas kind of went up. So, I mean, this is the nature of the beast. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it weeds people out. The strong survive and the weak don't. And that's another point of just coming into this game and having some money, having some credit. Don't get into this game and you don't have no money because it shows. It shows. And I'm not knocking nobody, you know what I'm saying? Because buying a truck is a lot of money. I couldn't do it. That's my plan for next year. But I'm just saying is gas, hopefully it goes down. I saw Biden talk about something the other day about tapping into reserves and stuff like that, and they're thinking that gas may go down at least about like 4 by the end of this week or next week. But
now, okay, so when you say gas, are you saying go down to 4? Are you talking about regular and leaded, or are you talking about diesel?
Well, they
because diesel usually, depending on where you at, but it's almost always $1 more than regular. Yeah. Well, the lowest level of unleaded, like probably 87 or whatever.
If it goes down, it's if one goes down, all of them gonna go down.
Yeah, they all go down, but it's still diesel's always a step above you know what I'm saying, regular unleaded.
But I say this, that's what knowing your break-even point is important.
Exactly.
Because if you know your break-even point, you won't be so strong on the $3 a mile. Because that's what's the popular thing to say. You know what I'm saying? That's like Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Oh, $3 a mile. If you know your break-even point, let's say your break-even point is $2.60. Now you know it's like, all right, if I don't get $3 a mile, I'm still making money. So now let me tell my dispatcher, hey man, do not book me anything less than $2.60 a mile. Yes, get me $3 a mile, because, and if you tell me that, I'm still gonna try to get you $3 a mile, because more money you make, I'm gonna make. But if I bring you something that's $2.70, you know what I'm saying, I'm not stressed out. So that helps the dispatcher to not, you know, be pulling his hair out or her hair out. And that helps the driver to know, okay, I'm still making money. But a lot of these new drivers and even some old drivers do not know that. And if you're in business, if you're in the restaurant business, any business, you want to know your break-even point.
Yeah.
Because you just out there, you just shooting at anything and hoping something stick. That's dumb. I'm gonna call it what it is. That is dumb. You need to know your break-even point. How are you in business and you don't know what you need to make to be profitable? I'm sorry to say it, but that's dumb. So let's do what we need to do and find out our break-even point.
Yeah, I agree. And fuel is what Karis is talking about, there's several some out there. Like I have one, but it's like a spreadsheet, and it has, so when you have a trucking company, you have your fixed cost, which is like your truck payment, your insurance payment, as long as you don't have any accidents or any violations or anything, because that can change, but usually that's a set cost. You know, just things like that are pretty much set, you know, throughout the year. And then you have your variable costs, which is things like, you know, your fuel, mainly fuel. That's the biggest variable cost. I'm trying to think of what else could be a variable cost.
They got to pay for a driver. If they have to pay for a driver.
Yeah, I mean, but usually that's a set cost, even if you charge a percentage, because you just plug that in as, you know, on the debit side of, okay, whatever however you set that up, whether you do gross minus fuel, or you just do gross, or you do, if you do per mile, then you just, you know, you have your multiple in there, like, okay, we ran these many miles this week times whatever, however much you're paying them. But as far as variable costs, like fuel is definitely a variable cost, because we all know fuel prices can change daily, multiple times daily. I mean, I've pulled up to a gas station to look, and it said, watch them, I guess they hit the buttons on the inside, and it went up like 4 cents. Like, man, y'all killing me, like while I'm pumping the gas. So, I mean, that's just the life that we live.
But I was, not to interrupt you, I would say this too, making sure that if you have a driver, making sure that they're not just stopping all the time, making sure that you're doing correct maintenance on your truck. Like something,
make it as efficient as possible.
Yeah, something as small as your tires, not pretty much. And somebody might be like, oh, I'm telling you, something as small as your tires not having the same air will cause you to pretty much, you know, waste more gas.
Yeah.
Something that I'm doing now is trying to do short mileage on my trips to save gas. It's just little different things, the tricks of the trade to pretty much save you gas, because I'm telling you, these brokers don't care. So y'all might as well, as much as y'all hate it, is either go work at McDonald's or deal with it. I'm sorry, it is what it is. I'm just, because you got to keep it real. I mean, we men, and you know, we grown, and women too. We grown. We are grown. You want me to pacify you, or you want me to tell you the truth? Which one do you want me to do?
I'm just laughing at the choice of McDonald's, but I feel like there's like a big gap between driving your own truck, having your company, and go work at McDonald's, man.
Yeah, but you're in the big leagues now. You are in the big leagues now. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to go drive for a company and let them handle it, you're in the big leagues now, because that's what they deal with. So now you got to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you're a basketball player, all right, we playing Jordan today. Now I got to do this. Tomorrow we playing Shaq. It's like I can't come with the same game when I'm playing Jordan. Now I'm playing Shaq. I got to do something different. And the same thing now. All right, let me pivot. Let me tell my dispatcher, book me loads that's like 30,000 pounds or less. Let's do short runs. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So that's just stuff that we got to do, because it's either going to weed out the weak people, or it's going to, you know, make you tougher. And now you know, because If you was in this game in 2019, you wouldn't be complaining. Ask some
Man,
of the people that was
I was just
dispatching.
going to say that. So, I mean, we might as well talk about it. They say the apocalypse, the trucking apocalypse is coming 2022.
Oh.
What are your thoughts on it?
It's going to weed out the weak. Something I saw in the group that they even Alex advertised. I don't know if you pretty much saw it, that they were saying like if rates do get that low, maybe you may want to think about lowering your dispatching prices. And
I did see that post.
I even told some of my drivers, I just went ahead and took the advantage to say like if rates dip a little low, I would consider lowering it to 8%. But we'll have that. I told them, but we'll have that conversation when it gets there to that.
I'm not doing it yet. It's a possibility,
right? Because I'm averaging them $3 a mile for the week, not for per load, but for the week. Right. So you guys are doing
good money. Good. That's good money.
Yeah. So, but we're a team, because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. If you're a dispatcher, it's like I'd rather take 8% than losing the carrier, because now that's taking money out of my pocket, and now I gotta pretty much scramble to find more money to feed my kids. So you know what I'm saying. And that lets the carrier know that you with them, and that you'll work with them. So but 2019 was hard, man. People were really getting you wasn't seeing $2 a mile in 2019. I heard. I got another friend that drives trucks. His daughter plays baseball with my daughter, or used to when she would play rec ball, and he was saying 2019 was horrible, man. It was like $270 a mile, $250 a mile. If you got 210, you were balling. It was like
you said it was 250, 270. You mean 150, 170?
150, 170 a mile, man.
Because you said 210, you were balling. So okay, all right, that makes sense.
I don't know if you heard about it. He was telling me, because I did research. I forgot what CEO that they were threatening to kill this dude. They had to let him go. I forgot if it was Convoy or something, because he was like putting a chokehold on it. They were literally threatening to kill. This dude had death threats because it came out that he was trying to put a chokehold on the rates, and it's yeah, and it's I'm hoping that it doesn't get that bad, because that's horrible. Because it's like, come on, but the rates are going down. Normal rates is like $2.50, $2.70.
Right.
Then around summertime it gets a little high, then it goes back down. And Christmas is balling again. But pretty much January to like March, right now, his rates ain't really nothing. So, but that again, people need to do research. People just don't need to come jump in the game because it looks sexy. Trucking is sexy right now. It's the thing to do. And like I said, it's going to weed out the people. So in a way, I don't want it to happen, but then again, I do want it to happen, because that's less stress on me. That lets me know if this carrier, I already know that my top 3 carriers, they in it for the long haul. We already had that conversation. My top 3. Now the other ones, I'm hoping and I'm preparing them for it, but the top 3, they know it. And they stack it, they saving money. So it's like, those, I don't want to say nothing, anything could happen, but I'm not worried about them. So I don't know, man. Hopefully it don't happen, because, I want to start taking trips like you and stuff, buying the boat, you know what I'm saying?
All right, man. So I have to tell people, because you be trying to play me on these. I have conversations with this man all the time about how can I put this? It's not a backup plan. I don't believe in backup plans. I believe you be committed and you do what you need to do, and you strive and you work for success. But okay, I'll say this. What my wife always says, and it's not knocking Karis, it's not knocking anybody out there, but it's just from my personal experience. Again, like I think I may have mentioned it briefly on the last podcast, or maybe it was just our private conversations. One day I'm gonna tell the story how I got laid off from my job. I'm a professional in the IT field. I was out of work for 18 months. It was 18 months total. And it wasn't 18 months completely like, oh, I can't find a job. Like, I literally was like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And, I was able to do my own thing for a while. And then some other stuff happened. And you know what I'm saying? I didn't listen to my wife, so I had to go back to the job. But anyway, long story short, wife
That's the
says
key right there.
that listens to your wife. Yeah, 100%, man. Wisdom. A good woman is wisdom. So one income stream is too close to zero. So we're gonna have some more conversations going forward. I mean, there's nothing wrong with dispatching. I mean, I really appreciate dispatching. Dispatching has done some great things, but dispatching isn't going to be like solely, you know what I'm saying, my only sole source of auxiliary income, because like I still have my regular like 9 to 5 or whatever. But and then we'll probably talk about that, you know, like I said, towards the end of the next thing I'm rolling out right now. I want to share with Karis, share with y'all, and just have y'all hold me accountable. And you know, once we build up a bigger audience, I literally I want people, you know, hey man, what's going on with such and such? You know, how you doing? You know, what's it looking like? So, you know, I want to put that out there as motivation and as being having like some accountability, so that, you know, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, I can say, you know, that I'm accomplishing what I set out to accomplish. But Karis, he talks about me all the time, but Karis has more carriers than I do. He makes more money than I do, and he's just all around pretty much, you know, a big baller. But he just tries to keep it low key, and you know, he doesn't talk about it. He doesn't really flash it. But Karis has like 6 cars. You know what I'm saying? He I think he has some exotic pets over there. I think he got like a pet alligator or something. So he's doing his thing. So don't get it twisted. Like, he making money. He makes great money, and he will continue to make great money. So
I'm broke. I'm broke. Like a lottery ticket.
That's why you gotta live though, man. You gotta live broke.
Oh,
you truly do.
That's funny. All right, man. Well, I guess that's gonna be a wrap for this week.
Yeah, okay. All right. So if we wrapping up next week, we were supposed, I want to apologize to Karis, and I want to apologize to people watching. We were supposed to try and grab like a person who's probably newer to dispatching and bring them on and let them kind of, you know, just ask us some questions or whatever. Because we want to give back and everything, but this whole campus situation, man, I'm exhausted, I'm tired. And so I didn't really follow through on what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to like contact a few people in some different Facebook groups and be like, hey, you want to come on? We could talk, we could chop it up and everything, just to give like different perspectives and everything. And again, this is not going to be strictly dispatching, because we're going to have other things going on, and we got other people to talk to. I got a shout out to my bro, Mike Francis. He watched the first episode, and I was talking to him today when our families went camping, and he was saying like, you know, I appreciate his support, because he was saying like, I told him basically I wanted to kind of build this up more so. And so when people start coming on, you know, they can, you know, see that we have like a decent sized audience. But he's like, nah, man, we got to get down on the ground floor and just build it up from there. Like, that's what we're here for. So I appreciate that, man. That was encouraging. But the one thing I want to say is, so I've always been passionate about like real estate. So that's kind of like the next phase of my entrepreneurial journey. So I got some coaching, some training, and dispatching paid for it. You know, dispatching, like, shout out Alex, man. I love you, bro. You probably don't even know who I am, but hey, man, you've done some big things for me and my family. You know what I'm saying?
I was like this tall.
Don't do that to that, man.
What's up, man? I'm sorry. Alex, you see this, man? You probably won't. I'm joking with you, bro.
Yeah, well, Alex is a good dude, man. He's doing his thing. He's put a lot of food on a lot of people's tables. He's given a lot of people fishing poles and taught them how to fish. So I appreciate that about him. And you know, I aspire to do that in my own way, you know, in my own lane. But so real estate has always been a passion of mine. So I got some training a few months back. It was, for me, it was pretty expensive, you know, but I feel like it was worth it. So this past week, basically, I'm going to be, my wife and I, we're going to be flipping land, so vacant land. So that's what we're looking to get into. And so in order to, the process that we're following, it requires marketing, direct mail marketing. So this past week, so the company we're working with, so you prepay for your printing. So they print the letters and like do all the process and everything. So we're not touching anything. And then as the letters go out, because you do them like in batches, then you pay for your postage. like as they go out. So I just dropped the money for like 5,000 pieces, and those will probably be going out in batches of 500, so like 500 a week. And then we'll just pay for that postage, that 500 piece postage every week. So those should be, I mean, I got my list and everything. I'm getting those cleaned up. I got a VA cleaning those up right now because there's like, you know, different people and different companies like LLCs that own like multiple properties in specific counties. So we got to like get rid of duplicates or whatever, and then just, you know, clean up the list. So that's going to be happening this week. And then hopefully by, depending on when he gets me the list back, by Thursday, Friday, we should be able to hit send on that first batch. And it's still, even then, it's going to take a week or two to spool up and then actually start arriving. But hopefully, let's see, today's the 10th. Yeah, before the end of the month, we should start getting our first, people should start calling, emailing, hitting the website, putting in their submission forms and everything. And the process is pretty dope. It's not very time intensive. It's more so like I tell people, I mean, I'm not saying I invented this. I learned this a long time ago. When it comes to business, you can either spend time or you can spend money. And again, that's why I appreciate dispatching. It's giving me additional revenue where like when I do other business ventures and everything, like I may not have the time, but because of the extra revenue that dispatching has created for me, you know, I can just throw money at it and just kind of outsource stuff and pay for this, pay for that. And it still gets done. So man, we rolling out with that. Like, in this coaching that I went through, like in those numbers, that first 5,000, there should be at least one, hopefully 2 deals in there. So we're not counting April because it takes a while to spool up. So May, June, by July 1st, I'm hoping I can get on here with you and talk to our audience and say like we closed our first deal by July. That's the date.
Ain't no hope.
Well, I mean,
say it. Go ahead and say it.
You're right. It's not, I'm not, when I say hope, I'm not saying hope like, oh man, I hope this works. It's more so like, these transactions can be like drawn out. Like sometimes you got people who passed away. So you got to do probate and all this other stuff. So it's just a matter of, I mean, I'm gonna keep everybody updated. I'm gonna say, okay, we got these signed contracts in. Like you might get, you know, 4 or 5 contracts in, but then you got, you know, you might have 90 days before you can close or whatever, just because, you know, real estate is drawn out and everything. But you know, once the wires start hitting the bank account, it's real. So yeah, that's the plan, man. July 1st, hopefully we will be closing our first, if not second, third or fourth transaction. So that's the next move. Me and you, we're gonna hopefully have some conversations about that, and then maybe some conversations about phase 3. That's coming up soon too. So yeah, man. Look, I'm not attached to any particular way to make money. I'm just attached to making money because money is a tool and money equals freedom. So, you know, I see Karis tries to talk, you know, about me, but I see this great father spending quality time with his babies. And I see trips to trampoline parks and amusement parks and everything else. And last time I checked, none of that stuff was free. So having money, you know what I'm saying, if that creates great memories with your kids, you know what I'm saying, that's what it's about, right? Right, Dad?
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. We're doing this for our kids, man.
Nah, most definitely, man. So what's your what's your closing remarks or closing thoughts for the week?
I'm gonna say the same thing I said last week, man. Gotta be persistent, consistent. That's how you get to success. I want to say thank you to you, man. I appreciate you being patient. And you know, I wasn't as accessible, you know what I'm saying, out in the woods. You don't have the best reception and everything. But yeah, we're gonna get back in it. We're gonna get back on it, get back in the swing of things. We're gonna hit this week hard. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I got this other carrier coming on in Texas, like I said, this week. Hopefully we can get him rolling. New authority and everything. So that's gonna be challenging. But I'm gonna tap in that same broker I was telling you about that I sent the Starbucks card. I'm gonna tap in with him. Hopefully get that loadout going with this new guy too. So you know, man, I'm looking forward, man. It was cold Friday, Saturday. It was real cold. And then today was a beautiful day, man. Spring is springing. Summer's on the way. I'm a summer person.
Yeah.
Like we was talking about that. I'd rather be hot than cold. I could drink some water and I'll be fine. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's gonna be popping. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We're gonna enjoy it, you know, Lord willing. So that's all I got, man. What you got?
Man. Same thing. I got a better outro.
Okay, let's hear it. What you got?
Yeah, man. Stole something from Les Brown, man. If you want to keep getting what you're getting, keep doing what you're doing. Say that one more time. If you want to keep getting what you're getting in life, keep doing what you're doing. If you want something different, change it up.
Yep.
If you want to keep getting nothing, keep doing what you're doing. That's it.
And that's dope. That's pure facts. And with that, we are out. Y'all take it easy.